Woo! Had me scared. I was shivering. I I'm just looking like, man, you gonna park your car? Like, no, man, I'm gonna wait till I get over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang. I'm like, all right, man. All right, I feel you, man. This what these do to people, man. Hey, everybody, welcome to Unfiltered, man. We just got done talking. We talk about how this thing has changed people. this this quarantine has changed some people, man. We ain't gonna say no names, Marcel, but it changed people, man. People that got hard, man. People that taking over blocks now, man. Man, first off, all of y'all looking right now, y'all know what to do. Unfiltered Mr. Johnson. Y'all go ahead, get ready to share. Get this out there, man. We're gonna have an excellent, outstanding conversations tonight, man. Great topics. So do yourself a favor. If you on YouTube, watching us on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button. You on Facebook, you know what to do. Go ahead, share, get it out there. ASAP. Let's not play no games. We're gonna get right into it. First, of course, man, introducing all my guests, but my main man, one of the four horsemen, my boy, Jordan Asian boy at the bottom. I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce himself, and then I'll introduce our guests. Go ahead, Jay.
What's going on? Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson fans. Good to see y'all. I know we missed y'all yesterday. We're here on Thursday, bringing it to y'all as usual. You got your boy Jordan. That I forget my slogan. Hey, I'm sitting here like, what I call myself?
I was waiting for it.
Okay, that light-skinned player from them Himalayas, and thank y'all for being tuned in to Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson. Please like and share for us on whatever platform you're watching on.
And of course, I got two of our guests, and we're expecting one more guest as well. But of course, I got below me in this box, right down here below me. I got my main man, my bro, Alonzo down here. And right here, would it be? Oh no, right here. It'd be this way. Yeah. It's of course my main man, Marcel, who we get a lot of fan buzz about. They really like Marcel, man. I keep telling them, I'm like, man, I got to get him back on here. I know why not, because he connected. But, I got to get to that main man status, man. Dang, I wish I was Italian. And and shoot, man, I want to start off real talk. We got a lot of topics. We want to try to squeeze that bad boy all in. Like I said, go ahead and start sharing and how y'all do. But I'm interested in a couple of things, fellas, man. I'm gonna bring out the first one I'm kind of interested in. Not so much our topic, but small talk right now. Schools, man. It's a big topic. Should kids go back full time, right into school, right in the presence, or should it be remotely, or should it be a little bit of both? How y'all feel about that, man? Because I know out of the four of us, three of us got kids. Sel works with young people all the time. What's your viewpoint on that? I mean, do y'all think that, hey, we ready full time, or we need to slow it down?
Slow it down. It's coming, man. It's coming back. The whole pandemic and everything like that. I think we just need to take it easy. Probably, slow it down in the beginning, see how that works out, and then like mid-semester, second semester. I mean, second half after winter break, and see exactly how like slowing it down made it, and how they was able to go forth as school year, and then if it worked out, then we can look on different measures and everything like that.
I agree with you on that.
Well, I think.
Personally, for me, go ahead, Sal.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, man. Again, from the standpoint of health and whatnot, we don't know what's going on fully yet. Still, people are dying from it. You got to hold off. I know I saw, all these discussions and things that they're having about schools. They're doing that via Zoom and things of that nature. Like, but y'all gonna send them into the classrooms like that? That don't add up.
Right.
But if I mean, they want to open the economy and people, they need to get back to work. July is almost over, and they got to come with something for that unemployment, before that time, or some people gonna be messed up out here. But I just know people got to work, and they gonna send their kids to school, man, corona or not. So we shall see.
Yeah, I think as of right now, I like the idea of the hybrid model, particularly for the older students, only because I know that it's going to be more learning loss if everything's completely digital. Unfortunately, there's still a huge divide digitally with students who don't have proper access. With some of that, I kind of question, but this past week I was teaching some students with GDYT, and which is phenomenal that these kids are getting paid just to be on Zoom. And if you're not familiar with GDYT, it's Grow Detroit Youngstown, it's the city's summer program, summer youth employment program. And so I would check in with them on Zoom, and I would have curriculum for them that they're supposed to read through, and they'll be like, I can't open this up. I didn't get the PDF. And their facilitator go, open your camera up. It's mandatory. As soon as she said, those cameras flip off. You don't know what they're doing. Some in the background holding PlayStation controllers and stuff. I'm like, if this is what school gonna look like, you ain't gonna learn nothing. So I kind of like an idea of a hybrid model where at least they have to go to school at some point. And this past Tuesday, I was at a town hall with Shalonda Buckman from DPSCD, who's on Dr. Beatty's team, and she laid out their phase 3 plan, which they're in right now, and they're trying to make a lot of strides to keep students safe. Having half the student population come in on one day, the other half the other 2 days, and just alternate like that. They're installing all these head temperature checks at all the schools in the district, and having a database set up for every teacher, making it mandatory for them to get tested, all those things. But my issue is that if you go completely face to face, then obviously the virus is going to spread. If you go completely virtual, kids ain't gonna learn nothing because a lot of these kids are at home by themselves. And like I said, I was teaching these classes for 3 days straight, personal finance, with these kids, and some in the background like this, they're tuned out. And so I can't see, kids just being, completely at home, and smaller kids is an even bigger problem that everybody's discussing, because how do you explain to a small kid who's been at home with his grandma and nephews and nieces that you got to stand all the way over there and nobody can talk to you? And, they want to touch everything, keep their hands in their mouth and all that stuff. You know how they do, kindergarten to 5th grade. So
these daycares are open already.
Yeah, some of them are open. Yeah, some are open.
Yep.
And they trying their best.
I know because I know my lady, she has her kids in daycare, but it's a limited number.
Yeah.
To how much so they could spread it. And I think honestly, because I agree with every single one of y'all, I don't think it's a right or wrong. I don't think it's a consensus with us that it's got to at least be a plan.
Yeah. And
I agree with. I think West Bloomfield had the best plan that I heard so far.
That makes sense.
They said one day, that can't be right. And they said one day, it's sometimes it get kind of upsetting, but at least I wish people would be open to look at other, look at everybody else's plans. Stop being so offensive about it. Look and see what is working. West Bloomfield said Monday, Tuesday, the first half of the students would be in class learning. The other half of the students would be remote. Even if remote was in the school, like in a like in the gymnasium or something like that, they would be remote. Then on Wednesdays, everybody would be remote. And then Thursday and Friday, it would be a switch up. I thought that was a pretty good plan for the most part. Because that solved a lot of issues. The one big issue that, like Jordan just said, people got to get back to work. And if you got single parents that has nobody to rely on watching their kids to be at home doing it, it ain't gonna work. So I mean, it's just like, I just think that it's just got to be a really solid plan to go through, because it is on the uptick, especially on areas. California, they didn't, like now California has surpassed everybody now. And they was one of the first ones to shut down. So that lets you know, hey, somewhere along the line, they missed something. Like they either rolled out too fast, or, just a lot of people, first of all, it's all about responsibility. And this where you hope that your fellow man would do the right thing, but everybody ain't gonna do the right thing. We live in America. People want to do what they want to do, how they want to do it. It's the United States of entitlement. So I think that with the kids, I'm not gonna play games with my child. If I don't feel right and I don't like the plan, she's gonna be doing remote. And because and the biggest thing you just said it too, Jordan, and I think you said it too, Zoe, we don't know what this bad boy really is capable of. We've seen signs, but we don't know what it's capable of. It ain't about being scared. Somebody said, oh, y'all being scared and panting. Like, no, it ain't about being scared and being panting out. Tell that to the people that's dead.
Wow.
I'm saying, bro, we just need to be honest. This is why people don't like Gretchen, and I don't want to get all off of it. But I salute Gretchen Whitmer. I'm not the biggest fan. I didn't vote for her, but what she's basing her information on is complete scientific information, the doctors and everything else. She's not putting it in. She's like, this is not political. Yeah. The doctor said this is bad. I'm trusting the doctors. I don't have a degree in being medicine, period. I know you want to say something, Jay. Go ahead, man.
No. I was just rolling what you were saying, man.
Oh. Yeah. So it's just like I said, I think it's just a big thing. This, like, when you're making mask be a political issue, we fucking up. I'm sorry. When we make mask be a political issue, you want to have a vote to wear mask? I mean, are you gonna start having votes to wear condoms? Hey, should you, when you go fuck somebody, should you protect yourself?
Hey,
yes, I'm gonna protect myself.
You think that's a unanimous decision? It ain't. Okay.
Hey, Jay, I was gonna say that. I was just gonna say it. That's why I started laughing, because some people like, man, I'm about to try it, man. You got some young, old, I don't care what this, they will risk it. They will risk it. They're like, man, I'm about to risk this. I'm like, you crazy, bro. I ain't risking that. But man, goodness, hopefully no corona. But yeah, I just think with the kids that we need to, if anybody that we need to be extra careful with, is the kids.
Yep.
Period. I no policy on the kids. Next thing I want to kind of go into, I'm gonna let Jay go on this one, because it's a guy that me and him both watch all the time. I don't know if a lot of y'all watch. His name is Eric Thomas, man. Great guy. He was born in Chicago, but he really claims Detroit hard because he was born and raised. He was born in Chicago, but he was raised in Detroit. So you already know that he a hustler, man. When you come to Detroit, it's 3 cities. And I mean this with all my heart. No offense to nobody out there that's watching. It is 3 cities in this world, and you hear me, in the world, that if you make it there, you can make it anywhere. One is New York, one is Detroit, and one is Chicago. These are cities of born hustlers. And if they broke, you'll never know, because they ain't gonna show it. So I shout out to him, but he had an excellent video when he was talking about survival versus vision, and I'm gonna let Jordan bring us into that topic.
So again, I've heard about Eric Thomas. I heard the buzz going around. So I decided one day to really listen in. And literally the entire day I was at work, I was going through every single video he had, just letting him play through. And the one came up and it said, vision versus survival. So we've talked about this before. When it's come to money and things of that nature, that especially for our people, a lot of us are built on survival. We're, just trying to make it every day, get that next check. And, that's kind of the thing that we do. And that's all. So when I heard him discussing it, man, it really just hooked me. That where is the vision? How do you develop that? How do you really get this burning passion for more than the regular lifestyle and the regular that's going on each day? And I don't know, man, it's something that I think I really want to start preaching to Black people, especially, is we got to get out of just the mundane things of life, the entertainment portion of life, always on the phone, always worrying about the next things that are going on, and really start planning out our lives. Most people that I know hate their jobs. They hate it with a passion. You going in there, each and every day, it's there's just no meaning to your life for real. And again, one of the things I want to focus on is people learning how to really set those goals, how to really aim for the stars more than just cruise on the baseline and live their life in a way that they don't even care about living. So that's something I'm gonna keep preaching, something I want to talk about today, because we got to start developing that, man. We got to get more vision into our life and start setting those goals to actually attain them.
Absolutely. I think that's 100 because you say you agree with it too. I'm sorry, that was Zoe, Marcel.
Yeah, I'll say I agree 100%. Yeah.
Get that.
You agree 100%. Do you think, like, just out of y'all, when you bring up, what I notice when I talk to some people, and Zoe, we all know each other. So this is a really cool group of friends. Like I said, when you have I've already said that, when me and Jordan met, now it's going like 5-6 years. It was an instant connection. It was like instant, boom. Like it was like this, like almost like 20 years, like for the rest of us. Yeah. But one thing that I tell people that I try to do all the time is that I always believe in sharing information, especially on where I came from and the things I bumped my head on. And I know Zoe because me and Zoe, like I said, this is 25 years of friendship right there. And we've both been in the aspect of no lights, no water, no gas, dope, you name it. And, we don't, if you ever been around us, we don't ever sit there and glorify it. You know what I'm saying? But we know, hey, man, yeah, I've been in it. We laugh at somebody else that try to glorify it because I'm like, yeah, that nigga ain't never been in that before. So,
okay.
You fronting because when I hear guys like, that's why when I listen to certain rap songs, and I know because Zoden told me this before, he gonna say, this nigga pretend. We just sat there and listened to it like, this nigga just pretend. Because the man who has been in the hood before, if you are giving him an opportunity to get out the hood, to make something better of himself, that he don't have to do the stuff he have to do, he is jumping at it. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. We're jumping at it because most, and this no offense to the ladies, most young Black men are not, driven with the thought of survival at first. That's put into them, the thought of survival. Most young Black men want to thrive. This is something beyond belief. We want to thrive. We get in there. We want to do what we do. That's why I'm a firm believer, like, what Jordan, you was just saying, is it allowing, especially a lot of young Black males. And the reason why I'm saying a lot of young Black males is because, man, sisters, I love y'all. Y'all are driven. Y'all strong. Y'all get out and do it. Y'all are the most educated demographic in this country. There's no one with more education than black women in this country. The sad part about that, they're the lowest paid in this country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that demographic go about, but it's the truth. But younger black men, this is why I always encourage young black men to expose themselves to everything, especially when it comes to economics, sports, education, thought process. Get engulfed in it. Find out where your niche is, because you never know where it's at. You keep doing the same things.
Yep.
Everybody could dribble. You got a lot of guys that could dribble the ball, a basketball. That number gets cut off when you talk about guys who could dribble it good. That number gets called off when you talk about guys that's supernatural at doing it. And then that number even gets cut off. So it's crazy. It's all because I know you a numbers person, Zoe. Actually, every single one of y'all is number guys. If the numbers don't make sense, it's like, hold on. I don't care what you just said something, but the number don't make sense.
Yep.
So when you try to reach home with people to say, hey, I just want you to understand that I know you like that gym shoe. Okay, who buy gym shoes here? I buy, that's right here. I buy gym shoes. I like gym shoes. If I see a nice, good pair, yeah, I probably will buy it. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that gym shoe. But when it comes to my hustle, when it comes to my side job and things I want to get forth, I'll never put the gym shoe over the hustle. I'm like, that's $200. No, I got something else in mind for the hustle. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry. I can eventually get that another day. It's not no make or break deal if I don't get it. You said something that's real key, Jordan. And then Zoe, I want you to comment down there because I see you biting your lip. I know you want to say something. And it's important that people understand that materialism, and I know we're going to get a lot of bad press about this, is probably, I can't say too much because I'm writing a book, but I'll give you this. Materialism is one of the 5 most destructive behaviors that has destroyed Black America.
Yep.
Hands down.
Yep. So, especially right now. Especially right now, personally.
I've seen it. And I hate when people say, stop counting my pockets. I'm like, I understand that because I'm a firm believer in that. Don't count my pockets. And it ain't counting your pockets if I'm telling you, if you asking me, I'm like, bro, you've been getting unemployment for the last 6 months. You've been getting over the amount. You've been getting almost 4,500 in some cases. 4,500. I'm talking about with taxes out. You've been almost getting 4,500 a month. You decided to get more bills instead of pay the ones down that you have. That's not economic brilliance. It's not. It's just not. It don't make no sense. You don't go like I said, everybody not me, everybody ain't Jordan, everybody ain't Zoe. I understand that. But I just think if I'm getting a markup in my pay of almost 50 to 100%, I'm stacking, I'm paying off because I don't know where it's going. I'm paying off bills to the end of the year. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just me. I'm like, boom, that bill done. I ain't about that until January the 1st, and I'm going to be stacking money. That's just my opinion. Zoe, I know you down there, man. Go ahead and say something. Then, Sale, you can go after Zoe, bro.
Oh, no, I totally agree with you. Some people really got it messed up in their mind on what they think another person may think if they not if they're not doing the same thing that other people is doing. Even if you got it, what can you invest in it more? What can you invest that extra $100 or extra $200 that you spending? Like I just bought some J's. I'm planning on selling these boys. I didn't buy them to wear them. I bought them to upsell for the extra $1. But I mean, some people don't think of it that way. Some people think of it, oh, I got all these shoes and I can wear all these shoes, but you're not doing anything. You go to the park You go drink that fifth of whatever you drinking, smoke that whatever you smoking, and then that's just your life. Like can't nobody show nothing what they did with the time that they was actually working, and some people will still get unemployment. On top of that, they ain't got nothing to show for it.
Yep.
Absolutely nothing, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
how you had nothing to show for it? Like it's crazy. Like everybody on this screen got visions for something. Everybody on this screen got visions to own a house, to own a car, and these things comes first before the materialistic thing. Half the people that got shoes and all this type of stuff, every last Jordan that you can name, but they ain't got nothing with a title or a D in their name. And that's sad because all these shoes and everything like that that you obtaining throughout the years and everything like that, you don't got nothing to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing.
Yep.
And I like if you look at other cultures, you got Indians. These dudes wear flip flops all year
Man.
long. But they got houses. They didn't. They didn't. We the only culture that can't be around each other for so long to stack up just so we can branch out and make it better for us. The only culture, white people, they stay segregated into the suburban neighborhoods and everything like that. But of course, they're gonna approve their loans and everything like that. They are going to approve their loans. But you got even the Chaldeans, Chinese, they all stay in the same neighborhood. They value their dollar stays in their neighborhood and they build up their neighborhood and then they venture out. But we can't get it right. We seen other examples time and time again, but we can't never get it right. Because we always think, I'm always gonna think like, oh, Randy got that. Oh, I gotta do him one better. Oh, Marcel doing. Oh, I gotta go get that. Plus, no, it ain't like that. Congratulate him, and then ask him how he did it, and then
That's
how you
right
do
there.
it. Pass along the information, man. The information, knowledge is powerful. Dollar is it can burn up in any minute. That's all I gotta say.
Right on, man. Right on. Go on, Sale. Go ahead. What you say? Come on,
No,
man. Everybody, come on.
I mean, no, I agree with Zoe 100%. I mean, it's true. We have this psychological problem where we hate our own people, and so it's like it's always competition mode. You know, a lot of people is gonna walk away from all this extra money, like Zoe said, nothing to show for other than pictures of seafood boils on Facebook, and that's about it. You know, and that's the only thing they can recount that they did with their money. But and again, it's not about counting people's pockets and saying that you gotta live a certain lifestyle, but at some point, you know, you gotta have some sort of ownership in your community. You know, you gotta be some sort of stakeholder at some point. You know, I don't think we as a people realize that the way that you come to the table in other cultures is through having something to leverage. And so we always talking about we want to be at the table. We're gonna take the table by force. We ain't gonna be going to the table. Sometimes they invite you to a meeting and throw you something for free, but you're not really at the table because you have nothing to leverage. And so I don't think we understand that oftentimes. And so it's a whole mindset shift that has to happen. You know, you got to have something to leverage.
Man, the key points. Mindset shift. First of all, so I'm just saying off of that, everybody needs that mindset shift. All of the stuff y'all saying got my mind bouncing on all kind of different points. But what you were saying about ownership, I know everybody got their feelings toward Kanye and things of that nature. But when he said with the whole Gap deal that he has, he said, "Why am I not on the board at Gap?" Why am I not on the board? Y'all linked up with me because y'all know this thing is popping.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know it's gonna sell. Why am I not on the board? Why am I not a decision maker in this?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's 100% correct. It's not enough to just, all right, just be there and, you selling your ideals. No, y'all got to make me, we got to be in points of position. I think the mindset change again, Sale, that's another one that I'm going on. That's something that I've been ingraining in myself. I've been doing a lot of reading and just meditating on dedication, focus, vision building, and how to really move, through this world and accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. I read this book called The Alchemist a while ago, and The Alchemist preaches about, finding your purpose in the world, things
Purpose
of that
part, yeah.
nature.
Good
So
book. Very good
yeah,
book.
I just thought it was so funny again, man. Eric Thomas, I was listening to him and he brought up The Alchemist. And Randy, man, I was thinking of you just with this podcast. Again, it says when you're really moving in your purpose in the world, doing what you want to do, figuring your stuff out, things start to turn and change in a way to work in your favor, to do for you. That energy
Yep.
is really real in the world. And Randy, man, I was just sitting there.
Absolutely.
I'm like, when you had first started your podcast, you were on there by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny. I'm watching, and you was consistent. You coming every week. You coming with it. And the funny shit is, what happened? All these people, hey man, I want to come on. Hey man, I want to come on. Hey, let me, hey. Everybody reaching to you because that energy, we saw what you were striving for. You know what I'm saying? You had the vision, and your vision started ping ponging off of everybody else. And I thought that was amazing. Like, I couldn't help but ask you to get on this show with you. I said, yo, no,
Mm-hmm.
I got to do it. This is, because you built that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's just something I'm getting really big on because the energy is real. Y'all got to surround yourselves with people who are giving off that same energy, that extra push, because it does so
Absolutely.
much. It does so much, man.
That's true. I appreciate that, bro. Like I said, I really do, because when I started, and it really, like I said, it's just like what you said. It's it get time when you say one of my favorite quotes from The Dark Knight, which is one of the best Batman movie ever. The Joker, from the best villain ever, said, "If you're good at something, never do it for free." And I tell you, that's why when I watch them type of movies, period, I've always been a thinker. I've always been old. Zoe been my brother for a long time, and he always said that, like, nigga, you old. He even said, nah, he's like, you've been old since you've been young. And it's funny. It's just because our thought process have been so. I'm telling you how you work your way around people. You work your way around certain people because your energy is just like you said, John. Your energy, you can't fight energy. I don't care what nobody say. You can't fight it. That's why when someone asks me, like, what's the most important thing in a relationship with a woman? Chemistry. Hands down. You can't beat chemistry. It don't matter how much she look, because you could be with somebody that's fine and have no chemistry. You could be with someone that has great sex, no chemistry. Someone rich and everything else. How else can you explain why a woman cheat on a multi-million-dollar individual, man or woman? Why? Ain't no chemistry. Chemistry will keep you from doing stupid stuff because it's just there. Like, man, the energy is just good. I can't do it nothing different. So, like you said, with the Eric Thomas, and just with everything you see, you just everything is like, it makes sense and connect. When you start to, and the other thing about it, when you flow in your vision, it's not like going in strong. It's like, you know what? Let me take that back. When you in your vision, it's like jumping in a storm. It's a typhoon going on. But no matter how strong the storm is, when you flowing in your vision, it's just smooth sailing for you. Because you ain't paying attention to everything else around you. You can backstroke in that bad boy. You can breaststroke and do everything in that bad boy. It don't phase you because you in your zone. It's just like in anything else. It's just like shout out to the Mamba. when he's in his zone, he couldn't be touched.
Nothing.
Jordan, when he in his zone, can't be touched.
LeBron.
It's incredible. LeBron, when he in his zone, he can't be touched. I can't believe I just said that. But it's the truth. If you look at what separate the great players in any away from everybody else is that they flow in what they naturally good at. Tom Brady, natural born leader. Everybody don't like him. Just like everybody don't like LeBron, everybody don't like Jordan, everybody don't like Kobe. But the one thing you can't say about them is that they ain't no winners. You'll see Tom Brady like, man, I hate him. I remember the game, and then we'll move on to the next one. But I remember the game where Tom Brady, probably the best Super Bowl ever, when Atlanta Falcons went up 28-7 on the Patriots. That game should have been over. And I remember people was texting me and calling me, this dude underneath me, Mac, who at work, always texting me like, man, how does it feel? It's over for him. And I was sitting there like, dang, man, I never seen that like this before in my life.
Brady
and then paid. Patriots, whatever. And then the Patriots executed, to me, one of the greatest comebacks that you will ever see in NFL history. They dominated, brought it all the way to the overtime, and scored on the opening drive. What I'm just saying is that when people flow in what you're good at, it's not work, it's passion.
Energy,
it's
man.
It ain't nothing else. Yep. When you get in there, it's just gone. I don't care how much it is. Even if it's the energy, it doesn't mean that you not gonna fail at some things. You ain't gonna take a loss. It don't mean that. It just means you look at the loss different now. You're like, oh man, okay, I see what I did wrong with that. I won't do it again. And that's the difference. And I think to make the point, just basically what you just said, Jordan, Zoe, and Marcel, the difference between survival and vision is understanding that the loss is a learning experience. And once you can get to that grips, like, man, okay, I learned from it. I ain't doing that again. Because when you're trying to survive, the loss will prevent you from moving forward. Oh, I ain't doing that again. I can't afford to lose like that again. But when you got the vision, you like, okay, I just can't do that again. Let's get back on the bike. Well, some people run off the road and stay off. Like, I ain't doing it again.
I ain't never getting back on the road.
You get back on the bike. I'm getting back on there and we doing it again. Point blank, period. People, if y'all ain't seen that video, Eric Thomas, shout out Eric Thomas. Go look at that video. Vision, survival versus vision. Is a real good one.
I will say this.
In this topic right here, you go ahead, man.
In order to survive, you need, like Jordan said, people around you. It takes a teamwork to survive. Even if you look at all the people that's been successful and everything, you can't do it alone. It got to be people because you're not gonna have that same energy time after time after time. You're gonna have to have somebody remind you of what your purpose is, because somewhere along the line you gonna be like, you gonna lose it, or you gonna get frustrated, because everything not gonna go your way all the time.
Absolutely.
So you need that.
That's 100.
You need that one. Not even just that one. You need a couple people around you, like Jay said, that's gonna keep you in line. Like, bro, you tripping. Like, you need that. You need that. Sis, you tripping right now. Like, you know what you could be doing. And then go forward. You need to realign yourself with people that's positive, that can speak life into your situation.
Yes.
1000%.
Absolutely. You ain't never lied on that. That is cool. Sale, you had something else you want to say before we get back on there?
Oh no, I'm good. But I agree with you guys 100%. You know, definitely.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good time. I knew that was gonna be good. I knew that was gonna be a good, man. The other one I got, and we probably ain't gonna spend too much time on this topic, but it do make me kind of my eyes this is weird. I know me and Jay was talking about this not too long ago, and it's like, man, people gonna do what they're gonna do, so it is what it is. Recently we had Meg the Stallion. I believe she got shot in the foot. Have they clarified if Tory Lanez did shoot her in the foot? Was he the one that shot her in the foot?
I haven't been paying attention all the way. I don't know what's clarified yet.
Yeah, it's I heard it a couple of times, but it's just it was funny. But the point that I want to make is this, and I want y'all to really peep this out. This go back to what Zoe I was just saying about how we could just point out somebody ain't really from the hood or what they say they are, because in some cases, because Meg got shot in the foot, all this other good stuff, and the memes came out of everywhere. They had her face on Ricky from Boys in the Hood running away with Tory Lanez in the back with my man that shot him in the alley. I was like, dang. And then Meg did something. Meg the Stallion, okay? The person who has the song that says Savage. Savage. Got in her feelings because of the memes. My thing is, okay, you're a savage. I didn't know savages could be sensitive. I don't understand where it comes from. It's just like something. I'm trying to say this the right way, but it just puzzles me how a lot of people in this generation, and it's just they young. I mean, when I say generation, one thing I want to say to people, if you're alive, you are a part of this generation, period. When I speak of generation, I mean everybody that's in this bad boy, because it's everybody doing everything. Some do it more than others, but it's still everything. I just don't understand people who are that say they're a certain way. Like, oh, I'm savage, man. No matter, yeah, man, I'm thugged out. But then you ultra sensitive. That don't even mix. That's two energies that shouldn't. That's negative and positive. It's like it's trying to do this. It don't even exist. I don't understand how you like. You just said this the type of guy that you like. That's how I check. Yeah. I'm all in his bag too. That's why I got a new pair of shoes. I'm like, this is what you rap about. This is what you rap about. You want this nigga. You want these dope boys. You want these guys that's violent. You got one to the point where he took it a little too far, maybe. I wouldn't have shot her in the foot, but she got to keep in mind, Tory Lanez only 4 feet 3, so he only aimed at her feet. So my thing is, bro, I mean, I'm mad. Man, what's y'all opinion on that? I mean, my thing is, how is some people, like we talked about it before on the show before all the time, how you ultra opinionated, but then you get sensitive when people point out corrections in you. It don't make no sense. My thing is that if you're gonna be opinionated, you better be willing to take all that same cake that you dishing out. You better be able to eat that same slice. That's all I'm saying. I don't know where y'all feel on that, but I just found that to be ridiculous. I'm like, you get on here asking for sympathy. I know Nicki Minaj did it one time. Don't surgery shame me. Don't do this, shame me. Shut the. I hate everybody keep talking about this shit. Don't shame me. Shut up. The things you should be ashamed about, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? You talking about surgery thing because you're in your feeling. Yeah, but you know what? And I go back to this all the time. I always thought Cardi seemed to be the most realist. And I think that's what she has. Her fan base is so good is because she's so real. When she was in her feelings, she's in it. She speak from the heart. And that's all the best way I can say it. Every time she talk, it sounds like she's just speaking from the heart. You know, ain't no fakeness. If she wrong, she go with it. At least she own it. Everybody else, I ain't gonna say no name rapper, but he, get out there and he'll speak up on something, but as soon as people start coming up against him, what I call him last time, Amtrak. All you do is back down the track. Beep, let me back it up. Beep, let me back it up. Beep, let me back it up. Beep. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say, like, man, own it. At least what we do on Unfiltered, and we do this all the time. And this is why I say energies make good conversations, because we will sit here. We didn't have arguments on the thing where it might be 3 of us against 1. and that person still stay with their job. And we still stay with it. I've had it where it's Jordan, Mac, and Nicole, and they all against what I'm saying. Like, no, I'm still staying on mine. We've had it with Jordan, been like, he's like, no, I don't know what y'all talking about. No, that sounds stupid. I ain't doing it. But it just be the facts, because I'm not just gonna change my thought because everybody's against me. If my thought changes, it's going to be because of the education I received of it and the research I've done. And I'm like, okay, I understand a little bit more now, so I could change some aspects, not backtrack. Backtrack is when you feel too much pressure and you like, oh, okay,
well,
we sorry.
Right.
We never apologize. Yep, you know what I'm saying? We don't apologize on Unfiltered. That's why it's called Unfiltered. We ain't judging it because of how we feel. We judging it upon the actions, the way you're supposed to do in real life. You know, when you get in the courtroom, they don't judge because of how they shouldn't judge on how you look. If you're a man or woman, they judge upon the actions and the evidence. If you did that, then you have really true justice. Unfortunately, like I said, you got so many people out here like Meg the Stallion. But I mean, what else you expect from a girl that don't know the difference between a stallion and a, you know what I'm saying, and a mare? She called herself a male horse, and she ran with it. And nobody in her crew ever pointed it out to her. Nobody said, hey, Meg, a stallion, is a young male horse. And all she did is say, ow. But it is what it is.
That's what she built like, man. Rock with
it.
And I said her body bad. I love her body. I'm just saying. She a good woman.
I mean, yeah. And I'm like, she did. And I just messed up that Tori, all that body, and Tori hit her feet. All that ass and you hit her feet, but never mind. I don't
even understand how they was.
I mean,
talking.
you got your.
She
I thought she said she liked a certain type of guy. I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, he looked like he could be used as a tampon. Maybe that's what it is, but that's about it. I mean, but I mean, shout out, man. Maybe he got maybe he got a baby arm on him or something. So I don't know what that is, but
come here, Tori.
Tori, whoa, come here, Tori, whoa. But
that's why he's trying to pick him up.
Yeah, I'm like, no, put me down. She thought, I told you, he looked like my man off of Little Man. You ever seen Little Man before?
Hey, even that, I get you sucking.
Yeah.
Remember why I get you sucking?
So, I mean, yeah, he came out the hat. But, man, I mean, it is. I mean, what y'all think about that? I mean, have y'all ever experienced people you be like, man, come on, man. You say you this, but now you doing this, man. Come on, man. Make up your mind. Y'all ever had that, man or woman?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the problem with putting out a image that you can't uphold. I mean, you try to put in as something, but you got to be able to back it up in every area of life, because life will test you. You know, and so it's funny you're talking about this, because I get these emails from iHeartRadio, and how these people I don't even be knowing. So they said Megan Thee Stallion shut down Drea Michelle, whoever she is, because she talked about her getting shot in the foot. I'm like, so you gonna respond to everybody on Twitter who talk about you get shot in the foot? You're gonna shut down everybody? I mean, get over it. I mean, you're a celebrity now.
Yeah, you gotta have thick skin. You can't let everything fade. You got shot. Okay.
Yep.
If they would have made fun of it, okay. If they spreading lies, I can understand you trying to correct whatever it was. But if they making a joke about the truth, okay. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
I just want to see. I want to see what she's gonna do, because I mean, they're gonna prosecute him. Are you gonna be the savage from the hood that you talk about, and your lips gonna be real tight, or what? So I think it should be funny as this goes down the line, man.
Yep. Especially like you said, it just as it go down the line now. Like you said, gonna go to everybody down their timeline. Y'all shouldn't make fun of me. This is a very traumatic experience for me.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I've seen people with a lot more traumatic experience. I've seen people that actually got killed. Count your blessings, young lady.
Yeah.
Baby glad he didn't shoot you in your behind. Now, I mean,
money maker.
I mean, the parts that everybody can see. Yeah, the money maker is all good. You didn't get your face messed up. You didn't get shot in your stomach. The tits, everything that you're making your money for, you good. Didn't get shot in your vocal cords. You can still rap. And it is what it is. I mean, you and your feelings, but I mean, everybody. That's how awfully Kevin Hartish. That's like when Kevin Hart, he was mad because everybody was talking about, you're a fucking comedian, you asshole. My goodness, you're a fucking comedian. This is what comedians make fun of. I mean, this is what you do. It happens. You got shot in your foot. You okay? It's a traumatic experience for you. I bet it was. You don't think it was traumatic with some of the women boyfriends you was screwing? No, let me not get over there. But it happens, man. It happens, man. I mean, dang. I mean, next time go for a Poindexter. You wouldn't have to worry about this if you weren't trying to chase thugs all the time. You want a thug? This is what you said. You wanted a guy that could go 8 to 6 rounds with you. Tori was probably going 8 to 6 rounds with you. Next time, I mean, shoot, lower your status. Get yourself an average dick, nigga. I guess I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she can't take the team BBD. Team BBD. I mean, it is what it is. And don't be talking about Drea. Drea kind of cute too. But
she was funny.
She's attractive too. Yeah, it was.
She said, "I want that kind of love." shoot me in my foot.
Man, I'm like, man, y'all are crazy. That's when you sit back and look, you're like, man, what the heck, man? That's why I'm tripped out. Like they tripping so hard on it. But I'm like, all you women, you got all these young girls out here wanting you, envying you, being you, and you got to hold up a standard. And now you put this in there. This is why I tell all you young kids out there, stop looking up to these images. Stop looking up to images, man. Don't do it. You'll be sadly disappointed when you find out in real life that they ain't about that life.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Agree 100%.
And yep. Now we going back to the real. I didn't want to be that long on that, but let's go back to a real topic that me and Sel was discussing before we got here. Got on live. Shoot, man, we know violence is just upticked like crazy. And I said this back at we had a podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly
just like that.
That's exactly. Yeah. He said he about to dismantle Trump. Let me get rid of him right quick.
But when I came in on the bits and pieces which y'all were discussing, Sal. But I think what he was about to go into was, I guess, the police being put into these different cities. Specifically Chicago right now, right?
Right. Chicago is identified. Detroit is it's been identified also in documents. President Trump didn't announce it in his press conference, but he put it inside the document. So
okay,
yeah.
And it said hundreds of. I heard DEA, FBI.
Right. Yeah. Federal agents.
Right. That's tough. That's tough. But when I heard 414 was the death toll for homicides in Chicago, and that's up 200 and something from last year. So
yeah.
Wow. You gotta understand about. I mean, look at what's going on in the world, man.
Mm-hmm.
With all this, besides the COVID thing, messed a lot of stuff up because you pent a lot of people anger. Not even the death toll went up, but think about the domestic violence.
Yep.
Domestic violence was an all-time high too. Cause you looking at people that was stuck at home with their wives, their girls.
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all wasn't already sinking,
that was the what's it called? What's it called? That's something Titanic, man.
Are you talking about the
iceberg, right?
The iceberg.
That was it for sure. You got to be at home 100% now. You're all together.
You ain't have to work,
man. For real.
Alcohol went up.
Alcohol sales up.
You got all these things that went up.
You drinking. You with a person that you hate all day. Domestic violence had to shoot it, and the same thing for regular violence. You got time now. You don't gotta be at work. You got time. All the dumb, stupid stuff start brewing.
Yep. Absolutely. But you know, as far as federal agents coming in, you know, the thing is, people are grass headlines, but they're not very connected. They're not very connected to what's going on in their community. This is not the first time that this happened.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually had this happen before in the city of Detroit. And Randy is as my witness. I'm not just making this up out the blue. It was around 2010 ish. We had this initiative in the city, and it had a state component to it and had a federal component to it. Crime was jumping off 48205, highest murder rate per capita. They had us all spread out all over the country. You know, it's the red zone. They started coining it. You know, and so they brought in these organizations that got started called Youth Violence Prevention. Then Bing brought that in, and then you know we had a pilot program called Scout Team, Sheriff's Community Organized Urban Team, and I helped head that. And Randy was there with me. You know, we was in the community. We had our own dedicated sheriff unit in the East Side. And, you know, they brought a part of the prosecutors off. And the goal wasn't to arrest really people, put them in jail. The goal was to say, look, the police is they not handling this. But if need be necessary, we will come out of our comfort zone and be right there for you, you know. And let me tell you, I think within 2 weeks, the word has spread throughout the East Side that the sheriff is here. And there's something different about the sheriff. I don't know what it is, but dope boys, they started abandoning the dope houses and they started fleeing to the west side. Mm-hmm. So it kind of failed on that end. It kind of failed on that end. But the east side was cleaned up for a long time. And when they started bringing in youth violence prevention, all these federal programs, they brought in the DEA, they brought in the FBI. You started seeing these black SUVs riding around. Nobody knew what it was at first, but then you started seeing DPD doing all these special raids and stuff. And so what I'm saying is, it works. It's effective. But my thing is, if you're going to do it, it's a way you have to approach the community. And I mean real community leaders, not the people who chase the cameras, you know, not the people who are all puff and want to gather up a crowd and have pitchforks and pretend like they're doing stuff. I'm talking about the real community leaders who can say, look, these are the blocks here we having problems with. And, you know, do like we did, say, look, I know so-and-so is dealing dope to the community. I don't want him arrested because he got some kids over there too. Let's see if he want to work with us and get this job application right quick. You know, and let's just see. Let's just see. Because
I feel you.
Some of them took it. And some of them was like, ain't no 9 to 5 gonna get me this. So, you know, but at least have those conversations. But I don't know how this administration is gonna do it. You know, $71 million is a lot of money, and that's how much is allocated. I don't know how much what their plan is, and that's the only thing that concerns me.
You know, when I heard people discussing it,
what's going to happen is, who you said? Who else?
No, you
said who was discussing it?
No, you go ahead, man. I'll come in after.
No, I'll say you said who was discussing it?
No. Just from what I've heard, hearing it on the radio, people talking about it. You know, a lot of people, especially with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, you know, they're like, you know, all these guys, you know, you're bringing more police into, you know, these situations. How do you think that's going to be a benefit? And I do expect, you know, a lot of craziness to happen between the, you know, police and civilians. But I also, man, in the back of my mind, I don't want the families of people coming out when dude tried to shoot up a whole police force and he was a good man, they should have left him alone. I'm like, I feel like a lot of that's going to be coming out, but I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with, I think what the issue is, when you got everybody ears goes up when it comes to money. And when you look at, you know, before it got disconnected, and I thank y'all for keeping it going. It can work when the right people are doing the right things, and we've seen it work. You've had a hand in making it work. Um, it wasn't an uptick of arrest; it was an uptick of presence in the community.
Right.
It's a different. See, when people, this is why urban communities, they still have crime. It's just different types of crime. But the crime that we are so prevalent with in urban areas, they might not have as much as that because they have a little thing called presence. They don't allow everything to go down in their neighborhood. If you play music a little bit too loud, you're going to know about it because you're going to have a visit from the police or the neighborhood as well. Like, well, we just want to make sure that, you keep the music down to a minimum. They keep, a lot of people say, man, hey, what's up with that? What's up with that? What's up? Why can't I do everything you want to do? You can always do what you want to do. But it's the second part of that people have a problem with, and that's facing the consequences of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You could go out here and smoke crack all day. But you got a consequence for that. You're probably going to die. You could go out here and rob banks all day. But if you get caught, you're going to go to jail. You could go out here and everything you want to do, but it's the second part of it that you got to face the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke to dope boys. Some being close to me, some being that I knew personally. And not giving them the heads up and trying to say, hey, man, this about to come down your way. But, giving them the, giving them the hood talk. Like, bro, look, this is what it is, man. You got kids. How would you feel if your kids was walking down the street in a neighborhood that they didn't feel safe on because there's always gunfire, man? How would you feel if your daughter was raped in an alley by a pervert? How would you feel? I ain't trying to threaten you. I'm trying to give you real life things that could happen. Like, how would you like being in jail for the rest of your life looking at your kids through a glass window? How would you feel?
If that,
so a lot of it,
baby
some
mamas
of them
ain't gonna bring them up there.
Yeah, right. Jordan, I ain't done. But it's crazy, man. It's like, yeah, they kind of relocated and things of that nature. They wanted to stop. They saw the heat was out there because not so much like I said, it was the sheriffs, but when a community start getting a sense of pride, like, man, it's people that actually care about it. It's people out here that actually want to do more. It's people that really love us enough to do it. Then that makes people get more involved. Like you said, what's that magical word? Energy. You start seeing the energy of the block change where you got a block. How else can you explain how you got? It's like I call it the Alter Road mentality. Alter Road splits Grosse Pointe from Detroit. If you go on one side of the street that's Grosse Pointe, you can feel the energy completely different than going on the other side of the street in Detroit. And if you think I'm lying, go over there. You'll see it. It feels totally different. You feel completely safe on one part, and another one, you looking over your shoulder. This should let you know that a matter of millimeters off a line of a city makes you feel different because of the energy. So I think that with the feds coming in, I hope they do it right. I hope they don't have all that money go to the thinkers that come in and think of ideas that really don't have nothing to do with anything that's going on, but they got to make sure that their job is relevant. So they make a whole bunch of paperwork and a whole bunch of strategic things that make entirely no sense. So that way they can keep getting paid off of that grant, knowing they have nothing to do with the circumstance. They ain't even from the city. They don't have any idea what's going on. You can't tell me somebody up in Cadillac, Michigan can tell what's going on in Detroit, Michigan. Point blank, period. You're not going to tell me somebody from the UP that's never seen that only been hunting, that hunts deer, can never tell me about seeing bloodshed of kids, women, children, and old people. You can't tell me that. You ain't never been in the area, so you should have zero to say about that.
I was just about to say that. And the reason why I was going to say that is because You got to be in the situation. Like, to even learn the situation, you got to get some of these dope boys and how they think. This younger generation right now is lost. And some of them just don't care about nothing. You looked at me wrong back then, back before. If I looked at you wrong, we scrap and then go on about our dang on business. Now, I look at you wrong, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you because of how you looked at me. So you mean to tell me they lost in their head? So you got to get on a mental level with these people, and you can't get on a mental level with them if you ain't never experienced none of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Think these young people is going to jail at an alarming rate right now because of stupidity. What we look at, because we didn't grew up out of all this craziness that we didn't grew up out of, and we look back and we looking at them, but this is what they know. This is back then. It was like it wasn't this bad. I'm afraid for my kids that's growing up that got to go through all this stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even know what level that these dang people like. What are you thinking when you shooting people and you got kids yourself? You got kids yourself. So you killing somebody, now you taking yourself out of the situation. You in jail right now. You gotta do life. And the baby mamas, they for sure, like y'all said, they ain't coming out there.
Okay.
They about to put you in Cadillac, Michigan. Oh, you got 4 hours to go to get to. No, they don't even want to go to Cedar Point. They don't even know how Ohio borderline look. So what makes you think they about to drive 4 hours to do anything with you? Nothing, bro.
Nothing. Yep.
Again, you guys have brought up the Coney Island situation. Again, man, when I watch that video, I just think about it like when you think about somebody doing a drive-by, you just spraying out the car recklessly. You know what I'm saying? Hoping you hit somebody, do what you do. When you close, like pinpoint, when you got the gun to somebody's head, and like dude had headshots on them people. You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of mental makeup. So that screw is gone. And I think that's a lot of people in
Absolutely.
the city, man. And it's gonna take some real work. Like the stuff that you do, Sal, Randy, you working with young people is it's dope because I feel like I'm an asshole because I'm like, fuck, I can't do it. I'm like, I've tried to talk to some people about some basic stuff, and their mentality just so effed up. I'll be like, hey, big ups to the people that can do it, man. Because whew, some tough stuff.
And you can't save them all.
Yep.
That's a statement, Sal. You know that statement been told to us over and over again because it's heartbreaking when you can't save a couple of guys. Where you think, I don't want to say save, but you can't help them all. Everybody you can't do it. You can't, well, yeah, I guess you just say can't save them all. I done had young guys where it's over and over again. I've been with them at juvenile, talking on their behalf. Like, there's like, Mr. Johnson, do you, what do you say about it? Talking, I'm like, I believe this young man got a lot of potential. And I think that when put on the right direction, he'll be all right. We don't need more prisoners, which I absolutely agree with. We don't need more prisoners. But I could count. I thank God that the success rate is high, but I feel like, losing anybody is, a loss is a loss. When you have to go to the funeral of guys, you see like, man, this guy I used to coach this boy. I used to mentor this guy. The most heartbreaking thing I ever had so far to pars, 5 of my football players were speeding, and it was all on the news. They were speeding on Van Dyke and 7 Mile. And Marcel, you remember that?
Yeah.
They were speeding on Van Dyke coming from a party, and they hit a pole, and it was going so fast that they all got caught in the car, and the car engulfed on fire. They couldn't even get them out. Yeah. All 5 of them died.
Yep.
And I remember going to speak at their funerals. And it didn't hit me until I got to the cemetery. And right in the middle of going through ashes to ashes, I couldn't get the dust to dust out, and I broke down. And I said, when are we going to change our retrospect for life when it comes to our young people? We have failed them. Just like Zoe said, when we have consistently put forth an example on what to be, and we get mad when these kids run with it and want to blame them. Oh, man, these kids can't change. No, this goes strictly to the parents. We're not talking about that put forth the good examples. We talking about, and y'all know what I'm saying, we talk about those who always put their kids in situations that kids should never be in. Kids do not belong in adult subject matters, period. No kid, when I just had a debate on Facebook where somebody was talking about how they're going to put LGBTQ is going to be a part of the curriculum. I said that should never be a part of curriculum in school. School should never try to teach personal preferences. Personal preferences come from life and social interaction. That means you have to go through life to experience things. School is, I know it's going to sound old, reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's it. Sure. Yeah. You're teaching. And when you start doing that, you're treading the line where I believe you're teaching policy, and it shouldn't be that way. If you're in school, kids, even when it came to sexual education, and they talk about straight sex, gay sex, animal sex, bestiality, it talked about one thing. It talked about the male anatomy, the female anatomy, and how procreation works. That was it. We shouldn't be talking about nothing else when it comes to that matter. And when you get, when I say, when people get to that discussion, I'm like, when they get mad, people was getting mad because I said that. Oh, you must be homophobic. You didn't listen to a fucking word I just said. You heard only bits and pieces, and you decided to run with it. That's the problem with society now. That's why people are so angry, because they don't know how to communicate, because communication is two parts, talking and listening. And if you can't do those two parts, well, you're always going to have more violence. That's why people are so angry. They don't know how to communicate. They probably come from homes where everybody always popping off. When you got mamas, baby mamas, and I want to say it's because every mama ain't bad, but there's a lot of bad baby mamas out there. They popping off at the kids, cussing at them like they grown folks. You little dumb mother effer. I'm like, this kid is 1 year old. You mad because he crying about some Skittles? He a kid. He wants Skittles. What would you do? Like, you getting mad at that? Or adults looking, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand that. You don't teach. Kids should never be involved in adult conversations. I'm like, I tell my daughter, I'm like, Anna, it's time for you to leave the room. Because this ain't for you. This ain't for your conversation. This ain't nothing what's going on. Even when it's my nieces and nephews, I'm like, hold on, let's wait till we talk. Let's wait till the kids get out the room. It's just stuff that hold up. We got to start doing the prevention method now. Jordan, you got a baby girl. You know what I'm saying? When I'm going out with my kids, Lonzo, when you with your kids, what are you doing? You ain't talking about, man, you know, let me tell you something about gay sex. Let me tell you something about shooting a person in the head. Let me tell you about rape. Let me tell you about this. You're not talking about those things. Now, you may be saying stuff about, you be careful. You can't talk to everybody about talking to strangers and things of that nature, and always telling them and being open and honest. People have exposed our kids to too many things, and that's why our kids are so confused. You expose them to everything when they're young. It's no business that a 4-year-old. I heard a 4-year-old, and at first I laughed, but then I thought about, Randy, you're a part of that problem. He called another girl, a grown woman across the street, I would say, you a pussy ass bitch. He's 4 years old. Where did he learn that from?
You already know.
It's like, it's just disgusting, man. So yeah, I agree with everything y'all say. I know we could talk about that for a long time, and I know we got one more topic before we go, but it's just, I agree with everything Jordan and Alonzo. You hit it on the head when you talked about it, man. You can't teach somebody or relate to someone when the situations ain't different. I mean, when the situations are completely different. If you've never had to experience that situation, you could tell somebody about being hungry, but if someone who was hungry, it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I remember being homeless. Or, man, I can imagine. No. We ain't talking about imagine. Have you been homeless? Have you had to sleep on the street? See, that's a different story. You know what I mean? Or, man, I can't imagine having the lights cut off. Shoot, bruh. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty when you got a candlelight going on, when you got to boil pots for water. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, some people, you know what I mean? Some people just don't know about it. And they talk about it. I'm like, man, I've always been taught by my mother and my father, keep your mouth off people because you one step out of another person's shoes. Keep your mouth off of them. Yeah. So if you ain't, it ain't about like nothing nice to say. It's like, keep your mouth off them because it's just period. You never know. So in some cases where the lights was out, gas was out, we made the best of it. So those times didn't seem as bad because we had people that we loved around us.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem now with this young generation, just like Jordan, Zoe, Sale, y'all all said, they ain't got nobody around them that love them. I'm telling you, they don't have no idea what love is. And I've seen it. They have no idea what real love is. They got people telling them, yes, 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 yes. Some of them, some of them don't even know what the word no sound like. They're like, is that no? It's no, motherfucker. That's what it is. N-O, that's what that is. If you ain't never seen it before. And like you said, when you got somebody point blank period, when first time I saw this guy shoot in that Coney Island, first of all, he done that before.
Yeah.
This dude had done that before.
Yeah.
It wasn't no gun sideways. That bad boy is something.
Yep.
Point.
Yeah,
one more time for good measure. Point.
Yeah, that was John
basically.
I mean, he just went in.
It was point blank for sure.
He knew where he was going. Yep. He knew where he was aiming, and he had it calculated. And he even shot the other person again to make sure.
Yep, twice.
Yeah.
Yep. I was just about to say that, Sale. Yeah. He shot my man twice, which indicate to me that was a passionate crime. You did something to him. He was pissed at you. You was the one he was pissed at the most because he's the first one who if you notice, that's the first one he shot. He saw him coming, that bad boy. I saw eye contact, and then he shot him.
I don't know, Randy. When I watched the video again, you got 4 boys in there. They look like they're goofing around, cracking jokes with each other. And again, when I'm in a Coney Island, I see everybody that comes in and I see everybody that walks out. They saw him come in and he's up there. They didn't pay any mind to anything. You didn't see any change in, oh man, that's dude. There was no change. And I don't feel like that they knew each other. I think I don't know, man. Maybe those people did something and they were supposed to get hit or whatever. Either way, it just looked, I don't know. Dude was on a mission, man. He was focused.
Yeah, he was on a mission. The reason why I said I think it's more of the passion is because he gave one individual 2 clean shots. He was already down. He like, I'm making sure you're down. And even the one that he got in the parking lot, who to me kind of got it the worst, he looked like he let that dude have it. Something happened to me. And you know what I noticed about kind of a lot of young guys today? I don't want to say they're not worried, but they just think that it's almost like, okay, whatever. Yeah, we made fun of him. Okay, yeah, we stole something from him. It wasn't back in the day. And y'all can know this too, because Jordan might be young, but he ain't young. And what I mean is that he ain't like 19, 18, 22 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? When you know you done something to somebody, you ain't trying to go back around. For the most part, back in the day, you ain't trying to go back around. Whatever dirt you done, you trying to kind of keep yourself away from. Not because you're scared. It's like, man, I ain't trying to be implicated again. I want nobody to find out about it again. Now these cats videotape what they do. this new generation. I want to be infamous in this bad boy. And I, like you said, I don't know exactly the situation, and I ain't gonna, you know what I mean, like how you say, come out here and say false narratives. We ain't up that here, but I'll tell you one thing. Like I said, my man definitely did that before. So whether he be a hitman or that was some revenge,
no, that was for sure. You don't kill nobody like that. First of all, you didn't just kill one person. You knocked out 4 with quickness and precision. I said, oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you, them 2 in the corner,
shots.
Clean shots, and didn't waste not one bullet.
Second, third, shoot outside to either stop and then come back to that person and then shoot back and then leave.
And he didn't run out of there. It wasn't like, oh, I gotta go. Boy said 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And walked up out of there like it was easy breezy. I said, oh yeah, he cold blooded. For sure.
The reason why I think it was a planned hit, because if you look at, if they was joking around, okay, you shoot one person and then leave, you running. But them dudes had to been there together, or he didn't want no witnesses. And that's, I just believe that. Like, you shot my man twice, boom, boom. And then you shot the other 2 people over there in the corner, and then you leave to get away. Like,
it was just, it's so, bro. Man. It was just, you know, when you looked at, that's why I said, man, it was like, man, I kept arguing with people. I'm like, man, that's not random. That's not a random. Whether he knew him, like I said, whether he knew him or it was a planned hit, I'm telling you, whatever it is, if it was a planned hit, somebody need to pay my man, even if he in jail. You give it to his family. If it wasn't, and he was doing it because of something they did to him, just think about maybe what they did to him. What could someone that did to you that bad, where you like, I'm killing all 4 of y'all? And the mental state that you got to be in, because he didn't shoot nobody else. If you look at the video, he pushed the girl down out the way so he could shoot and go back and shoot one more time and move him out the way. He like, man, forget it. No mask. He wasn't trying to hide the fact he didn't do it. He like, he wanted to be known. I'm like, man. And then I think a felon. He like just got out of jail or something like that.
I don't know the background of him.
Yeah, he just got out. Just got out or something like that.
Man, like you said, you just don't know the mental states of people, man. It's crazy. That's why I tell people, man, stop messing with people. Stop messing with people, man, because you never know what's gonna be that day that people gonna fly off the handle. That could be it. You could have been that one. You just being rude. That's why I've always been that type. Hey, man, what's going on, brother? I probably got saved for multiple sniper attacks. Like, whoa, what happened? He shot everybody else around you, Randy. I said hello to him.
Listen, I'm on the same exact page. I say hello to people. Hey, man, how you doing? You all right? You know, try to give you a little extra because it's too much. And I know everybody mental out here is messed up. Like, I got some hood friends. You know what I'm saying? That ain't me. And I'm fine with telling people that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny. I ask people, I'm like, you know, how you doing? You doing all right? Now, at first, I always used to get hit with the, man, why you always care about how I'm doing, man? I'm good. You know what you ask me? Now it's so funny, man. I don't care who people are. As hood you are, want to be whatever. Everybody got emotions and feelings. They be sitting there, yeah, today wasn't a good day, man. You know, and you got to talk about how you feeling. And it's like, man, you see this man out here, they probably kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But they got the same heart, same feelings, same emotions. It's just, man, it's so crazy, man. I try to stay on everybody's good side because I ain't got time. Okay.
That's what it's supposed to be. You ain't lying. I done had conversations. I'll be like, God, I don't know why you want me to go over here and say this to this person, but I'm about to do it. I'm like, hey, how you doing? You okay? Man. Oh, man.
Okay.
Man. Yeah. And then I just listen to him. But you know what? it's just like what y'all said. Sometimes that all it takes. Somebody just wanted somebody to listen to them.
Yep.
And I probably saved some people's life out there just listening to him. He like, man, I'm like, bro, it ain't worth that, man. You don't want to go to jail for that, man. Come on, man. I'm like, you love your kid, right? Yeah, man. You love him? Then you need to just be with him. Their kid needs you more than anything else, right, man? He like, man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, bro, man. I appreciate you, man. You
Randy,
know,
I don't know if it's
and guess who we trying to got coming in now? It looks like
you said Mac.
Yep.
Okay.
Yo, what up, fellas?
What's
Man, I'm
going
happy
on?
we got that sun
Working,
behind you. We've been able to see your dark ass.
You racist motherfucker. You have Asian, so I can say that. Dog. I hate this nigga, man. Every time I want to say something nice about Jordan, he go ahead and start talking. This nigga
What's
making me
going
sick.
on, man?
Man, what's up, y'all, man? Just getting out of work.
There you go.
Getting home, man. I'm hearing y'all topics, man, about the guy, man, who shot those people up at Coney. So
You
where
at
y'all
Coney
at?
right now?
No, hell no, shit. After that, I ain't going to no Coney.
How about that? You better go home and cook.
That's all that taught me, shit. Fuck
You better go make yourself a chili dog. Make yourself a homemade Coney.
Y'all niggas dumb, dog.
Man, it's crazy. So I mean, we actually was just finishing up about it. Jordan was about to say something, and then you welcome to say something after Jordan, man.
All right, go ahead, Jordan.
No, I was just still focusing on the mental. I was saying, Randy, again, we were talking about energy. It's just weird. Like, I ask people, how you doing? And I was telling my girl, that's something I got to change, because people really answer me like, you usually get a generic, and they be holding me in 15, 20-minute convos, not trying to be rude, but I wasn't trying to have all that. But they be unloading. I'm like,
what? But the thing about that is, bro, sometimes, man, you'll know who life you saving.
Oh, no, for sure.
You might be saving your life, you know what I mean? But I think we all get away from that because, we were taught, hey, you got to speak to people, be polite, you know what I'm saying, and courteous. But, a lot of people go away from that shit, and that's why, like, most of these people here, man, they stuff happen like that.
I agree.
But it's good. But like you said, it happened. Like you said, people. I'm telling you, what happens is that people get used to being treated like crap. It is what it is, or being neglected, people not caring about you and stuff like that. I'll give you one good example, and then we could go to this next one. Is I know I've complained about it before, how you hold the door open. I hold the door open for anybody. If I see you coming behind me,
right,
I'm holding the door open for you, man, woman, no matter. And I held the door open the other day, and it was 4 people that was coming. It was an older man, young guy, older woman, and then a young girl. Older man, of course, hey, thank you, brother, appreciate that. Young guy, man, I appreciate that. Older woman, thank you so much. Young girl kept walking, talking on the phone.
I be
almost like
motion.
it was entitlement. I was just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
hey,
not that it was so big, but I
what's crazy though about that, cuz? If you wouldn't have held that door open for her, she'd have caught an attitude like, damn, you don't open my door?
Yep.
You don't hold my door open, damn, you rude.
Yep.
That's true.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, you know what? But it's like, like Jordan was just saying, is that if you thinking that somebody, like I said, it's a big entitlement problem and everything else like that. And like I said, bottom line, with a lot of things that we got going on, because I know we was just talking basically about the feds coming to the city. I think it's needed. I think it needs to be done the right way. Chicago, when you got somebody coming shooting up a funeral, it's bad. I'm sorry, Chicago it is horrible. They shot up a funeral. They was coming out of a funeral, which it had to be gang related, had to be something personal. Where else would you have people come down and shoot up people coming out of the funeral parlor for a funeral for somebody? Yeah, it's getting bad. It's bad. Chicago, wherever, how you want to say Chicago, even Albuquerque, New Mexico was getting with an uptick. Albuquerque, New Mexico, it's a trip, and Detroit ain't too far behind. The only, like I said, the major thing I want to make sure is that it's not an uptick in arrests, just more awareness. I think a lot of this violence is because police have been spread thin because of all these idiot protests that
next
we
topic.
getting into the next topic.
Yeah, I don't think we want to touch that one.
Topic, bro.
Don't touch that one.
Yeah, man. My brother has sent me a video. I'm talking about Alonzo, and it's something that we've been talking about too on here. This is why I call it the BLM. Most people refer to it as Black Lives Matter. I prefer to it as better. Listen more. I think it's a lot of things, a lot of undercurrent with this movement. It changes like the wind blows, and I trust no movement that changes based upon convenience. If people know that the original group was started by 3 black women, 3 lesbian women.
3 lesbian women, yeah.
The lady video, and it was a video that we saw, and I want to go into the details of the video just because that's her stand on it. What we want to talk about is our stand on it. So right now with the Black Lives Matter, with this BLM, where do y'all think, if anything, that is getting any type of relevance to y'all? I mean, because in my opinion, and then I'll stop, and then so that way we can everybody have an opinion. We'll go in order how it appear on the screen. So it go Marcel, then Jordan, then Mac, then Zoe. Okay. Just so, because I want everybody to get their point across with this. I just think that yeah.
Right.
I had it set on all day.
Somebody got their phone on mute or something. I hear some girls whispering.
My bad.
Oh, that was that was Jordan.
He about to do the icon.
Yeah, you saw him look up. You saw him look up like.
He was like he was talking to a kid. He was like,
but y'all crazy. So, Sale, why don't you go ahead first, then Jordan, Mac, then Zoe. So BLM, man. I mean, is it a movement or is it doing more harm than good, man?
Black Lives Matter, they've been around for quite a bit. I like the motto, but I don't support the overall organization because there's way too many layers to it, and there's no real leadership behind it. It's just kind of spun off into all these loose organizations. And what I don't like is it's unfocused. You know, everywhere you go, there's a different strain asking for something different. So when you listen to these protests, these protests are not being taken seriously from a standpoint of making any real policy changes or changes in their community, because it's good. It's easy for a corporation to throw some dollars at a black-owned business, but not changing anything in the community, because what the message that's being said is, okay, defund the police. Okay, yeah, well, we need to get rid of this thing, get rid of that thing, tear down the statues. You know, and so people with power, they want to know, what is it that you want? They want to know what is that you want from a united front, you know? And so they was beginning to get steam, and I was looking at them like, okay, maybe this time it's going to go somewhere. But then here you go, right in the middle of it. And you notice this, it died down right after this incident. Black trans lives matter. And then they started inserting themselves, and then every Black Lives Matter protest had a big old giant sign that said Black Trans Lives Matter. And I'm looking like, well, if you a Black trans and you alive, you part of Black Lives Matter. What is you doing? And
exactly.
Like, okay, now they're divided. Now they're going up against each other. Somebody had to go in and counsel them and say, look, this is probably not the moment for you. No, you stay back there. Well, Black feminism matters. And so this whole Black Lives Matter thing is so unfocused, in my opinion. I like the motto. I don't like the organization from a standpoint, the original organization, from a standpoint of they have too many causes in it. That's just like all over the place. And so you can't really make any real change, because of that. And then looking at these protests that are around, it's not Black lives getting us in trouble. There's other people's lives down there doing the protesting and getting their agenda across, and it'll be revealed, trust me, in a couple of years what's going on. So it's
absolutely.
We're gonna go to Jordan now. Yeah, on my end, I actually had a debate till 4 a.m. with some friends and then another woman, but she was the one that showed me the video initially that has been circulating about BLM. And a thing for me, my arguments, I was arguing out there. I'm like, I mean, you see them as they're a tough, little party right now. They are moving and trying to, accomplish whatever they want to actually accomplish. Again, a lot of these police shootings, they're coming in and that's been their calling card, so far, because they can piggyback off the emotions of, everybody else. And that just gives a whole boost to the energy of what they're trying to do. But when I actually went to their website,
there you go.
I'm like, I'm a person of facts. I'm like, I hear what y'all talking about in the video. I've seen plenty of women. The woman that was talking in there, I'm like, she could have branched off and left because she was mistreated and people are bad mouth. But when I went to the website and actually read their mission statement, I was like, oh. I said, no, I can't rock with that. I said,
there you go.
I can't do it. I said, listen, y'all point blank, and they put it in there point blank, and it really threw me off. They are perfectly fine. They said, we're trying to do away with, I don't know if it's, I believe the Western thought of life where there needs to be a man in the home. I said,
yep. Thank you.
A straight man in the home. And, they were divvying away from that culture. I'm like, that culture? I said, that's a culture now? That's not regular. And I said, and that's when after reading that and reading further into it again, and it's not to minimize what people go through, but when you start to insist on cisgender with the bypass binary gender, and I'm like, that y'all lives matter too, do it, but that's too much for me. Let's keep a direct focus, and everybody will kind of be combed through on that. Like you were saying, Sal, when you say Black Lives Matter, like you said, are you Black and you're alive? Cool. We don't need to go into transformatic lives matter, blue, green with a dash of yellow. We got the group. Let it ride. Y'all do what y'all do. But again, I can't rock with it after I saw that in their motto, their mission statement. I'm like, man, and I'm like, they put it there blatant. They said if you if you want to hide something from people, put it in plain sight. It's in plain sight, able to read if you go to their thing. And when I got the knowledge, I said, again, if they're saving lives and stuff, and continue doing what you do. I wasn't necessarily pushing my support out there so much. Like when they said that that Black Off Day on social media, I was like, I didn't do it. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I couldn't formulate a actual opinion, but I just been watching from the outside, and when I finally got my facts, I made my decision with it. So yeah.
And right before you get to you, Mac, me and Zoe, and he probably gonna mention it too. And I remember sometimes modesty ain't gonna prevent me from doing this. I said this stuff already. I've said this on shows already about Black Lives Matter. I said people is not reading this mission statement, and they have no desire to have any males, biological males, in any leadership position. They have stated this. They don't have a problem with trans females or trans males. Then they start going. It's like And see, and this when I get confused because I'm like, like you said, see, when you just like what Jordan just said, and I know a lot of people like pan, sis, pop, all of that, all those prefixes and other things, they're meaningless. They're methods of confusion. That's when I stop all the time when someone try to come with some confusion stuff. I'm like, you know what? You ain't even in order, so I'm not even going to bypass it anymore. So you say that you were for, because it originally started because of Trayvon Martin. So they started the blood of young black males who, I'm sorry, but reading it sounds like you have no desire or really even no love for the male gender.
Yep.
Hey, if you don't believe me, like you said, if you don't believe us, go to the site. I just said this since people been bugging me and telling me since April before all this stuff got started. When I kept telling people I don't trust any movement that is always reactionary. All you do is reaction. Oh, we could get it because they understand how people work. Don't you think they got people in their group that understand that the best time to effectively get in touch with people is when they're at their highest emotional state? That's how you do it. This gonna sound bad, but you know when some of the best time to get some pussy is?
After that argument. Something happened off some BS, man, for sure.
Thank you. Who just said that? And grieving. When somebody done passed away. Wow.
When they
I ain't never got that kind before, y'all.
Or when somebody get broken up with. Hey.
Yeah, that one for sure. I done did that a whole bunch.
Yep.
That one.
Yeah.
When they do that, and grieving and everything else, people, because they not in their right minds, they going all off of emotion and everything else. I'm telling you, even guys, if a woman want to get a guy, that's how they get them. When you really try, oh man, he going through something. I can't believe she did that to me. I can't believe she did that to me. They're
gonna be there for you if they want you. I got you. I got you.
It's crazy. And that's what the problem is. I said with this movement is that's all they based it off of. This movement has provided such a dangerous aspect that they went all over the place. Now they're blocking school buses. I'm like, you blocking a school bus. Let me get this straight. You're blocking a school bus because it shouldn't be used as guinea pigs. But you acting like people are being forced. These are the parents of the children at the best high school in the city of Detroit. Let's start there, first of all. The highest rated high school in Detroit, at Renaissance High School. Parents said, I want my kid to be able to go to summer school if they wanted to. You're blocking the buses because you said they should not be used as guinea pigs. And let's add that 90% of the people out there blocking the buses are people that don't have kids. 95% of them aren't even black. And I know that people like, man, that should make a difference. Yes, it does make a difference.
That make a huge
difference.
And protest would make a huge difference.
And if you out there telling us that you don't want to do, we're just blocking it. You're blocking the buses. You can't block people from doing business. You could be alone their property, but you can't block them from doing their business. Guess what? Some kids missed that bus. They were out there for hours. Would you have been, would the lives still matter if one of them got raped? Because they stood on a stop waiting for a bus that never came, and then some kind of individual came along and raped them or did some harm to them? This is where I'm saying it rolls dangerous. Then you got the rumors of 20 shots. This guy got 20 shots unarmed. They came in under 30 minutes and crowded McNichols Road, throwing rocks and everything else at police officers for something that didn't happen once the video came out. They showed this young man bust at the cops 4 times, almost killing the cop. He just couldn't shoot like my man did at Coney Island. And then he gets shot. Now they like, well, we still want an investigation. You got people talking about, we want to see the body camera. We want to see the body camera. Shout out to Chief Craig for providing the proof and showing everything and being so transparent with it. Because if it didn't, you'd have been looking at something going crazy. They was marching down Livernois aimless. This ain't even a protest no more. These are idiots. These antagonizers doing all this stuff. And I thought I wasn't gonna go there, but now I did go there. These are idiots trying to come under the false disguise. You coming down here from White Cloud, West Bloomfield, all these other places talking about Black Lives Matter. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly my point.
Because guess what? When you go back home to your beautiful 3,000 square foot home,
you ain't got to worry about a crime.
Thank you. And that's exactly what it is. You don't have to worry about none of that. But you out here protesting, throwing bottles. That's rioting.
Mm-hmm. That's how it start.
At this point, that's why I can't get with it, because Black Lives Matter is starting to go from almost black, little bit black, somewhat black, a little bit more light, a little bit more Caucasian, a little bit more whiter, light, and my problem isn't, I don't want anyone that's white to think this, because I know people can run with things because y'all not listening to me. I have no problem with anybody of any race standing up for anybody of any race. That's what we should have been doing the whole time. Everybody should have been standing up for each other, because if anybody that got the power to do one race wrong, they could do it to any other race. That means if blacks wasn't at the bottom, somebody else could be put at the bottom. That should make the red flags go a minute. They could do that to them. They could do it to anybody. So that's all my point is. What we're talking about is the people that's coming down here acting a fool for no reason, jumping on police cars and then when it gets reported out to huge medias, all they keep saying is they mention is the Black Lives Movement protesters, and automatically people say Black Lives Matter protest. Oh, it's black people. But then when you look at the tape, you see they look awfully white to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mac, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, Mac, with your opinion, Zoe.
All right, so we can all agree that the LGBT community is one of the most powerful communities that we have today, right? We can all agree.
Mm-hmm.
So a discussion I had with somebody was when we were talking about, Black Lives Matter. We got into a topic saying, well, Black trans lives matter. I'm like, well, isn't that the same thing as LGBTQ? Doesn't matter what color you are as far as LGBTQ. If you're in that category, kind of doesn't matter your color. Like I said, in my opinion, I could have been wrong. Like, well, yeah, a lot of things happen to LGBT, to gay, transgender, black people that nobody talks about, but that's why it needs to be, hey, Black trans lives matter, right? So after I had this discussion, what I'm saying, I like I said, I could be ignorant. I don't see a lot on the news or a lot, that happens to Black transgender people. So now that we get to the topic of Black Lives Matter, everything, like Marcel said, it's just so unfocused to where, like, hey, we're all black. It doesn't matter if you're woman, man, transgender, or gay. Like, this is the topic that, hey, Black Lives Matter. It shouldn't be split apart, or it shouldn't be to where now we got to focus on all these, I don't want to say minute, but all these minor things to take away from the agenda. And now, what is it really? It transformed from Black Lives Matter to all these things that really doesn't necessarily go with what's happening today. And so my whole thing with that is that if somebody in particular is not doing something to help this matter or help black people, is it really helping us? Because like I said, all these shootings are still all policemen are still doing what they're doing, and nothing's happening that's helping our community. So like I said, we could take down these statues. We can go ahead and try to, do other minute things. Hey, we could post on our website that, hey, Black Lives Matter. But what is happening that's going to go ahead and affect these changes to end systemic racism, and to go ahead and answer these things is going to help our people at the end of the day. And none of that stuff is happening, then what are we really fighting for? You know what I'm saying? And then also with that, like Marcel's kind of hitting those points, let's find something to go ahead and put these monies that these Fortune 500 companies are trying to give us, and let's focus on something, whether it's schools, whether it's, funding better policemen or doing something that's going to help us in the long run. We can't do everything right now. Let's focus on one thing and let's get that pushing. But for right now, it's 30 things getting there and nothing, and it's going nowhere. We're going nowhere fast. It's like we're in a hamster wheel. Like, okay, we're going, but where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, with getting back to that topic, man, I think the whole gist of it is trying to basically do some good, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to take their portion of what they want to happen, and it's not going to go anywhere.
Good point, brother. Good point, brother. All right, Zoe, man, bring us home, man.
I never was the one that really got off into the Black Lives Matter. Simply because it was never consistent. It was never consistent. Like every time you didn't hear anything until something happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all had stated before.
Mm-hmm.
And if you consistently think that Black Lives Matter, then it needs to be at the forefront at all times. When you talking about LGBT, I have no issue with that community. I have family members that are gay. I have family members that diddle and daddle and all that type of stuff. But at
Yep.
the same time, if it's black, then I mean that's an umbrella for everybody that
We
falls up
group then
under this
also. Yeah.
whole system. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing that happens
Yep.
in the Constitution. When you start separating, why is it that you got gays, lesbians, you got the LGBT, they're in the Constitution, but the same thing that they're fighting
Woo!
for is the same thing that's going along with the black people in general. So
Mm-hmm.
when you talking about everything needs to change, while y'all was fighting for these dang on rights for the gays and everything like that, you should have been fighting for equal rights for blacks, period,
Yeah.
across
Yep.
the board. Instead, if you fighting for a little cause, why are you fighting for the mustard when you can get the mustard seed and no, you gotta understand if you fighting for something, you gotta fight for it all the way. And you're not fighting for it all the way if you just settling just for the LGBT. If you just settling for the dang on little peanuts that they give you, you're not winning anything. You think
Mm-hmm.
you won something, you didn't win anything. That's why it still gotta be a LGBT march. Why? Why are we getting together and doing all this type of stuff and everything like that if it was already in the Constitution for y'all to have everything together? Because you still black. You still black. So that's still when you made that Constitution, that didn't mean anything because you still fall under the black. So let's get to the root of it. The root is your skin color, and then you move forward from there. You change laws from there first, and then you
Yep.
want to have to get minute dang on things like that. That don't mean shit to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we just put a pacifier in your damn mouth to have you to shut the fuck up. You got, I don't have no
Right.
issues with them Caucasians or anything like that. None at all. But at the same time, if you motherfuckers ain't fucking really fucking with us, then don't fuck with us. Don't be in fucking riots and don't cause mischief. And then you dressing up. You ain't even showing your skin color. You in all fucking black doing what the hell you want to do, tagging stuff, all this type of stuff. When that ain't
Absolutely.
even you. You you ain't even got no black friends in your Facebook, but you in Black Lives Matter. Or you can't even
Yep.
think on tell anything about Black history, but you in Black Lives Matter. How? You don't know nothing about us. So why you down there?
Learn first and then react second.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot do that dumb stuff, man. Come on now. And black people really got to dang on wake up. Forget Black Lives Matter. You need to learn. It needs to be, if you're talking about a movement, it needs to be education. And they're not talking about education at all. None of it is. You got to change the mindset of whoever the oppressor is and the oppressed, or I'm going to still be oppressed. I'm still going to be angry. And these motherfuckers still going to oppress because that's how they're raised. So change the books that's in school. Change all that because that's what needs to be changed. If I'm raised to think that, oh, Harriet Tubman helped free the slaves, and that was a brief subject. Okay, Harriet Tubman freed the thing on slaves. You don't know the gist of everything that she fucking did. Marcus Garvey, you don't know the gist of everything he fucking did or what he fought for. But you still want to think, oh, you gotta change the education, and it starts when you're a child. The dropout rate for people that's in high school is at an alarming rate, right? So when you're a child, that's when you got to get the gist of your education. When you don't, Black history don't need to start when you're in third grade. It needs to start when you're in preschool. It needs to start when you're in kindergarten.
At home.
Because by the time you get to third grade, your mind state is at a whole nother level. At a whole nother level. And it needs to start at home while you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
You need to teach your kids, us people, Black people, teach your kids about your history. They need to learn who their grandparents are. That's why they don't have respect for them. You got dang on grandparents that's out here. They don't give two shits about them. They don't even call a checkup on them. But still in all, you want to be mad when this little stuff happens. Nigga, you ain't even dang gonna teach your own kid how to dang gonna conduct themselves in life. Everybody on this dang on screen talk to their elders. If you see an old person walking up, male or female, you're gonna either A, step aside, open the door, how you doing, and things of that nature, and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
But young people, they walking in front, they cussing, they don't care. And it starts at home. It starts at home, and the education is just like when we at work. We at work, we work 8 to 10 hours a day, sometimes 12. We spend most of our time with who? Our coworkers.
Coworkers, yep.
And that's the same thing at school. They spend most of their time at school. These things need to be taught. That's all I gotta say, man. And it's pitiful that it's not.
Definitely rocking with
man.
that.
You made some outstanding points. You made some outstanding points.
Yeah.
Where you, like you said, you got to it, man. It's man, it's crazy. You know, it's what you think about when it comes to this movement, and every point that every single one of y'all made. The one thing that stuck out was the consistency of this movement. The only thing that's been consistent is they've been inconsistent. And what gets you the most rattled is because, yes, do we have an issue with unfairness when it comes to police in regards to how they handle situations depending on people of a different color? Absolutely. Yes, you have that. Is it all of them? No. Because like I said, I've had situations where I've got treated with nothing but the utmost respect by some officers, and they weren't the same color as me. I've been let go when I know I should have got the ticket. They say, "Hey, have a nice day. Go about your business." And my biggest problem with it always stems back to y'all have no ambition. When you know somebody want to fix something, and this just go back to me even doing, with getting homes and rental property. When you want to fix something, the first thing you look at is the root of the issue. You go look at the foundation. You go see what's going on. You want to see if it's got some good, it's a saying, we say good bones. You want to see if the house got some good bones and what you got to work with. The problem is when you got people in this BLM movement, I'm not even going to say Black Lives Matter no more. This BLM movement, my problem is they have no interest at the root cause of issues in this community. They have no interest in it. They don't want to do it. They want to have everything that's on the surface. Oh, cops the hot issue. We're gonna attack police brutality. That's where we're gonna get in so we can swing in our agenda. You ain't slick. That'll work for somebody that ain't paying attention. A lot of people are starting to be awakened by it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people now has been like, hold on, this don't make no sense. Why y'all, and why is it doing like this? But it's just like what you said. If you really want to get my attention, that you showing you in the right wheel, people give out money. What I look at is I see what really makes me upset is that I see, and I want to make a comment. I'm sorry, I was stuck up. Mr. Robbins, you had a good comment. It says, we are the only race that everybody sit back and let us do the work and they reap the rewards. I couldn't even say, when I saw that, I stopped. I had to put the thing on mute because America has been built off the hard and free labor of African Americans. Period. It ain't no other way to say it. And any other race that come on here and say different, you are completely and utterly disrespecting me and every single one of my ancestors. You are disrespecting me because that's exactly what happened. Some of y'all talk about, I'll give you an example. Native Americans, Indians, they were annihilated for one reason. They refused to be slaves. They said, we're not going to slave to you. You're going to have to kill us. It's going to have to be a fight. And those who didn't lose, they tried to say, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come over here. We're going to take over. And we're going to decide what plot of land you're supposed to have in your own house. That's like a man coming to your house saying, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you have that corner over there in the living room. That's going to be your space. And that's what Europeans did when they came over here. And and much respect to the Indians. I know that, like I said, they had some, amazing, like catastrophic losses. But they said, no, you're going to have to kill us before we ever become slaves to you. But blacks have came over here and were taken over here. Nobody, and, all right, I'm gonna go say it. A lot of people don't like me saying this when they talk about, man, we just need to go back to Africa. I'm like, you take your ass back to Africa. I ain't going back to fucking Africa. Why the fuck would I go back to Africa? Them motherfuckers never came back to get me. Name a fucking country where you go see that somebody can go steal millions of their own people and they don't declare war on that country. Name one. You can't. Because it will never happen. You come steal 3 Americans. America's going over there trying to bomb your whole entire country. They about to do some damage. Nobody is ever going to make me believe this fable tale that the Dutch were so strong that they came over here and strategically stole over 50 million blacks. You think I'm going to believe that bullshit? You think I'm really going to believe that? Oh, they came over here and stole them in the middle of the night. They stole a whole bunch of niggas in the middle of the night, took them over, and they was running on the track. No, that didn't happen. I hate to tell y'all something, but a lot of us were sold into slavery by our own people. If you don't believe, you don't have to believe me, but the facts is there. What I'm saying is that when we got over here and we were used as free labor our whole entire lives, when we got to the point where we outnumbered the people that enslaved us, we still didn't get the glimpse of the fact that, man, we outnumber them. We can actually come in here and take over. But you want to know what happened? This is what happened when you paralyze. It's the mindset, like we've been saying this whole time. It's a mindset. When you paralyze people with fear, what you do? You go into groups. How you deal with the groups? How you gonna control this group? You take the strongest, the most bravest, and you bring them down to their knees. So that way everybody sees it and nobody else would dare question anything that you do. You embarrass them. Hey, you even rape them. You see that big man, the one that everybody else is afraid of? Don't just beat him, rape him. Make him embarrass him in front of his people. Make the women not seem like they want, like the women have so much disrespect for them and then idolize you. Now they idolize the master and they hate the black man that they see all the time. Not only that, now they're going to keep their son in such a place where no, don't ever try to stand up for yourself and do this. I got to protect you. And then you make the women become stronger. So now you got a reversal of roles. And now you get into this whole big self-esteem issue that we have in the communities. Like, well, now what we got to do now? Let's make sure that they hate each other. Let's make them war within each other inside. Well, how we do that? Hey, put the lighter skinned ones in the house. They slaves too, but let's give the appearance that they got better treatment than the ones that's in the field because they darker. Because they don't realize that light-skinned beauty that you brought in the house, she getting raped just as much as the dark-skinned beauty in the field.
If not more.
And it's just been this whole issue. So now, when our people got over here and finally got a taste, because we've never had, I don't believe, in my opinion, we never had full rights as a people, ever yet. We've had the appearance of it, but when we got the taste of realizing that they don't want us to be in a certain place. They don't want us to have a certain status. We don't want y'all to be in our restaurants. We don't want y'all to be here. So what we say? Well, I guess we got to do it for ourselves. Let's create wealth within our own communities. We don't have to buy ice from them. We can buy ice from this man. We could get construction equipment from this man. We could do this. We could be self-sustaining. What happened? They destroy those communities. Oh, no, y'all ain't going to be self-sustaining. That ain't enough for us. We want y'all to want us. Yep. And this is where it goes, like you said, and the biggest thing, and like I said, I don't want to take up a lot of time. I want to go real quick. But the biggest thing, like you said, they have attacked us and they've made us feeble in two ways. Financially, because when you're an oppressor, what you do, if you want it, think about it. Just like you said with education. Education is power. Not just getting a degree, but having an education and the know-how to be an entrepreneur, knowing your codes, knowing everything else, knowing how money works, financial education. All that is freedom. You can't be oppressed when you're free. So what do? You give the basic education and then say, hey, everybody's got the right to education. No, it ain't. Because when a school in West Bloomfield is giving out tablets and they're getting the finest education possible, in a school in the inner city, they can barely get off a computer that's still using fucking DOS. Don't tell me education is fair. It's not fair. They're not getting the same equip. Because I've been in the school system. I graduated from Detroit Public Schools. I went to college. Thank God I got my degree. But I remember getting there and looking like, what the hell is this? We wasn't taught this. You ever watch Am I Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? That shit would make you feel stupid.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I didn't know that in fifth grade. Shit, I barely got that in 12th. I don't know how in the world they got this in there, but that's how you cripple them. You don't make things fair. What you do, it don't make no sense to say, okay, this and that, because you got different industries that depend on the ignorance of blacks. Private prisons. Come on, man. Like, man, forget that education stuff. We need this many people to be in this prison and fill it up.
To do this monotonous job. And regular jobs too, man. A lot of them are like,
it's just crazy.
They're building you to follow along, follow this path, don't think on the outside, and just every day. You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
And like
every
you said,
freaking day.
You were talking about, when you went to college and the different things, like, whoa, I ain't never seen this before. When I was living in Jersey, the school system there that I was going to was horrible. Like, I didn't pay attention at all at school. I had straight A's. It was nothing. I'm not doubting my smarts, but when I moved down to Georgia, a little more of a white neighborhood, and it was my freshman year going there for, algebra, and the algebra that they were teaching compared to what I learned in Jersey was no comparison. I was like, I've never seen this before. I said, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I had to be retaught that whole thing. But it's like, man, again, they say we can't challenge these kids. That's why they put that standard so low. But then you get left behind so much that when you actually have to deal with it, it's just the cycle crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yep. It's despicable. And it's just like what Zoe said. If this BLM movement really cared,
education.
Yeah, you can still address police brutality, but I would be going into the community. I've always been taught charity starts at home first. So you should be going into the communities. Stop being reactive and being proactive. It's a couple of things. They talk about Candace Owens, and I think she's a ditz ball to the fullest, but she does have some good points. And one of the biggest things she said is the absentee and the destruction of the black family and the black male as the head of the family. And that is a very true statement. And it's idealistically the same statement that has been made in the mission statement of the BLM movement directly. That they have no interest. A whole new, almost like a new normal.
Yeah.
Like it can exist. Like, are you crazy? That don't even make no sense. You telling me that you're here to save lives, but you don't even like the lives you proclaim to save. It doesn't make sense to me. And so when you, like you said, these movements, if you show me the proof is in the pudding, go out here, come to us and develop a new education systems. You could do it. Y'all could have came in there and developed charter schools and said this, well, if they don't want to do this, fine. We ain't got to do with public education. We'll go the charter route. Anything to get our kids the best education possible. And guess what? Don't be scared to challenge them. Stop giving us, like Zoe said, pacifiers. Stop passing kids along talking about, well, you know what? We're just going to pass them along. No, if you don't do it right, do it over.
Mm-hmm.
You only going to get better. It don't teach you nothing, man. Just get him out of here. He ain't going to learn nothing. People are scared to challenge their children. I ain't scared to challenge my daughter. My daughter, this school year, she ended up getting a 3.9. That's down from the 4.0 she had last year. She was pissed. But you know where that come from? That become from because she has been used to excellence. And then the moment we stop, the moment we say, it's all right. You passed? Oh, it's all right. Go ahead, give him a pair of $200 gym shoes. Oh, you got a D? Oh, you passed. Go ahead and give them that $600 system. Materialism, entertainment. They don't know what's on the periodic table, but they can memorize every damn Lil Wayne song. It's a problem with that. It's a problem with that. And I ain't trying to, don't know hate to Lil Wayne. Make your money on Weezy. But all I'm telling you is that Weezy was a straight A student, just in case a lot of people didn't know. So it ain't like he didn't have nothing that he could go and fall back on. This boy was a straight A student. So stop getting caught up in the images and everything else that come out. And if you really care about this community, And I hope that, BLM in some short, fascinated way that y'all sharing and doing everything with this page, if they can hear this from a black man that's in the community and several other black males that's in this community that happen to be fathers, that happen not to go about having all kind of criminal records, because in y'all book, you say every black man has had a criminal record, every black man is a bad father, every black man is a casualty of war, and a lie, and I won't accept it. You won't get that from me. You don't get the support from me. I don't need to be pacified. I can get out here, work, and do everything I need to do on my own. I don't need it. I'm not saying that other people don't need the welfare or anything of that nature. Welfare was a Band-Aid. It was meant to patch you up and then get you right back on your feet so you can get back to not needing it anymore. What I'm saying is that if you cared about our community as strong as you said it is, if you really want to protest, get out here and protest the education. If you really want to protest the huge economic disparities between blacks and whites and every other race at that. Start protesting that. Give us more financial education. How about stop having so many liquor stores in the community? Sometimes you got 5 liquor stores within a 1-block radius
of each other. Yeah, man.
But you can't find a library for 2 or 3 miles.
Yeah, more than that.
I was gonna say.
Let me know about a library like 5 miles from each other.
It's despicable. You can have liquor stores, dispensaries. There is no city that has this much activity.
Dispensaries, man.
You see, I'm like, why do you need 6 dispensaries on 1 block?
Because they selling like that.
You know what I'm saying? They like, and they're doing like this, and you know what? They have no disparity about caring. They have no disparity about caring what happened to us. Then this is my thing. People talking about, man, I'll smoke weed. Okay, smoke weed. Smoke too. This and that. The laws changing for good jobs ain't changing.
But look,
it ain't changing.
Now, remember, Michael Jackson was supposed to come to Michigan, and he was supposed to make that theme park down there, and all the profits and everything like that. But which way did we go? When we went the casino route, it closed down schools. It was a daggone man. But Michael Jackson was coming in, and he was making some changes to support the school system. And also
him and Don Barton. I remember that. Don Barton.
Man, you gotta be that go crap me, man. So you want so you and what happens in casinos? You now you got a scapegoat. Think of how that's like night and day. You got the theme park that would have brought families together, and now you got casinos that tears families apart. Cause I'm going up there, I'm spending my whole damn check. My wife, she mad the hell at me because I ain't paid the dang on bill. So now she want a divorce because I ain't got no money that they ain't gonna give her, vice versa.
Yep.
Man, the way that they think is crazy.
It's purposeful, man. They think purposefully for sure.
That's an outstanding word. I like that. Purposeful. That's a good one. I like that. That's a good one, man. It's crazy, man. I know that we can continue this conversation all night. I knew it was gonna be a good one, man. And I appreciate all of y'all. Mac, I think Mac got in trouble or he didn't pay his bill. But either way, we love you, Mac, for the time frame that you was on there. That was cool beans. But man, again, I appreciate you fellas coming on here tonight, man. Joining me and Jordan. We always appreciate y'all, man. Sale, Zoe, thank y'all so much. And to all our fans out there that still stay with us, a lot of some great comments that y'all had out there today. And again, we just want people to understand that this it's being straight shooters. It's called opinions and basing things off the facts. Nothing that we said is made up. Nothing is said is that we just bring it out of a hat. All this information, not only just about this group, like I said, you could go to them. All you got to do is read. All you gotta do is read and stop just following. Don't be like penguins that just follow each other as they walk aimlessly.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to stop and say, man, let me take a look. Something ain't right. Something just don't seem right. Normally when something don't feel kosher, it ain't kosher.
That mission statement is long too. Okay.
Very.
You can't just just read the first portion. You got to go into that bad boy.
Because it's like in the
you already
middle.
know how some people is, bro. And if you don't read it, you'll be like, yeah, okay, I'm down. That's how most people get you. It's like when people get all that benefits information from work, and they get the big packet, they're like, man, I ain't reading this shit.
Cool.
I got benefits. And then they found out, oh man, you don't cover you don't cover if I lose one of my balls. Where was this set in there? Like, I didn't know this. Like, it's in your book. It's in your book. But no, I mean, if any of y'all got anything to say before I go.
I do.
Go ahead, man.
No, for real. I'm gonna keep preaching this heavy. Black people need to start reading. And Black people need to start having a thirst and an obsession with knowledge. There's got to be a change.
Absolutely.
Like with my daughter, it's like, all right, man, you cannot be ran by YouTube. Like that's a huge focus of mine. You're not gonna watch this YouTube till the day you die. It's like, all right, you got to start talking to them early, and the world is already working against them. So start early with, hey, let them enjoy education. Let them have a thirst for that. That's something that I'm building in myself right now, is a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for, to dig into the deeper things. Because I just want to have the right mentality, man. I want my mental to be cool. And a lot of people are focused on entertainment. And again, you know these things that happen every week, the Nick Cannon situation, Kanye situation. Every week there's something else that takes a space of, hey, you can focus on this and you can discuss this with everyone. You know what I'm saying? Every single week, it's amazing to me. I've been backing off social media like crazy. And again, I still hear about the stuff, the Will Smith and Jada, but every week, hey, we're going to feed you something. You can discuss this. The next week we'll have something else for you. Again, the rabbit hole is so deep, you end up 5 years later, you're in the same position you was 5 years ago. You've learned no new skills. You learned no new information. And it's like, damn, okay, well, I've already wasted 5 years. Let me waste another 5 or 10. And then you end up being that 50-year-old man like, man, I don't got nothing. Wow. I don't know. But again, to the regular, I'm preaching everybody start reading, start having a thirst for knowledge. Keep watching this podcast because we kicking y'all with some good information, man. If I was just a fan or somebody watching, I'd be learning some shit. Like I feel the productivity coming from this. The energy is vibrating, man. It's vibrating.
Absolutely.
Like and share
appreciate you, man. Yep, always that like and share. And y'all do such a good job with it. We appreciate y'all. Zoe, Sale, you got anything to say, man?
No, other than just thank you for the opportunity having me on here. I try to be meaningful with my words and everything, and not just waste words and thought space. And if I've done that anyway, it wasn't intentional, but thank you for having me here.
Appreciate it. Also, Sale has a show that is every other Friday, correct, Sale?
Yeah.
And it's called This and That. Go ahead and tell them about it, man.
Yeah, This and That. And so it's myself and my co-host Angie. And we talk about a lot of different life issues on there. How to relate to each other, how to relate to people, how to relate to this crazy world. It's on our page called New Covenant of Peace. It's a church page. And so it's every other Friday, 8 p.m. And so, yeah, you'll be entertained by it. It's good.
Zoe, why don't you go ahead and kick it, man? You got anything to say, man?
I do want to say thank y'all too for having me. It is an honor. It is, especially for these things that's going on in our communities and everything like that. Just getting out the word.
and getting rid of that whole stigmatism. Everybody that's black ain't ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm with you,
Absolutely.
Jordan. When you posted that book, man, I wanted to see what that was all about, man. I'm all about building my wealth, and building my wealth will build the people that's around me.
Yep.
So it should be like a chain reaction. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with that all the way. And we need to get back on what we was talking about 4 or 5 years ago, when we all came together for brunch.
I think, man, with that, I think everybody has to what was I gonna say? If you there personally, if you got that thirst and that hunger personally, like, people got to show that first in yourself. And then, all right, we can all come together, because it's hard. If you don't got that personal thirst, it'll waver off at some point. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why I'm trying to shore myself up, because I'm a part of the problem that, all right, we let time pass by on what we had planned. So it's like, let me shore myself up. Let me get my mental right. So when we hop in, it's no breaks, it's no let goes. We keeping it straight and pushing, headed toward that goal. So
right.
Yep, that's the best. I love that. That's the best way to say that. Like you said, everybody show up, because it's crazy, man. It's amazing what people can do when they get on one accord. But the part of getting on one accord is that everybody has to do their job.
Yep.
A healthy body runs when every part is doing what it's supposed to do. When the heart pumping blood, the lungs doing their thing with the oxygen, the butthole pushing out shit. When everything is doing its job, it's doing it right. And I love this, because what do they call when a cell decides to do something different than what it normally supposed to do inside the body?
A cancer? I don't know.
Degeneration.
There you go.
Yep.
A cancer. It's called a cancer. That's exactly what cancer is. When a cell reverts from doing what it's supposed to do and doing the exact opposite. Man, and that's, like I said, is so important. So, like I said, to everybody out there, man, we appreciate you so much. Go ahead and get this video shared, because we can't promise y'all that Facebook won't take this video and say we ain't gonna do it. It's happened to us before in regards to it, but y'all can help control that, because y'all can go out here and share this bad boy like y'all normally do, and keep sharing it and getting this information out there. Like I said, information is key. And when I say support ain't saying congratulations. That's not support. Saying congratulations. Support you can only do 3 ways. You can do by investing your time, investing your money, or both. That's the only way you support. I'm sorry. Nobody got support from somebody saying, that's good. No, you put the time into it. That's where it is. I hate when people say that. Anybody saying a business. What you do when it's business, you bad. I'll give you some great examples. I have my cousin. She has a wonderful book. We plug her book all the time. Not because she's my cousin. It's because I believe in her vision. So what did we do? We plugged it all the time. We plugged it. Not only did we plug it by using our time, but we supported it by using our money. So y'all, that's just how you're supposed to do when it comes to people, period. If you talking about support. So, man, get in full way. So y'all do y'all part. There you go. See that? See how that just came up? Nobody can't talk junk about it. And they ain't say anything about it, because you put money where your mouth is. And it's just what you believe it what it is. You put your money, where you believe, you put your money into. Like, all right, man, I believe that, and I'm about to get that. So, like I said, to all of y'all, and your time. So everybody that spent your time to watch, share, follow, and like the videos and the podcast that we have here on Unfiltered, man, we appreciate y'all more than you could ever know. Continue to share, continue to follow. Like we said, we'll be here every Wednesday coming up for the ending of our season 2 before we get into season 3. And we appreciate y'all so much. To my co-host Jordan, to my co-host Mac, To my co-host, Nicole. We miss you, Cole. Can't wait to get back with you. To our guests, Zoe, to our guest Marcel, appreciate y'all. And to everybody else out there, God bless. Be safe. And man, get this knowledge, baby. Unfiltered with Mr. Johnson.
Whew.